Hello there, and welcome back. My name is Sean Reimer, I don't rhyme, and Jeremy Clarkson once said that speed has never killed anyone. Suddenly becoming stationary is what gets you. I know many people were left stationary on December 1st, 2013. I vividly remember going downstairs that morning to find my sister watching the news as she immediately told me that Paul Walker had died. I don't remember my reaction or any of my thoughts running through my head. I just remember making this tribute at not quite 15 years old.
Okay, it's been a few days since what happened, unfortunately. I feel comfortable telling you my complete feelings about what's happened. I swear to God, I was totally in shock by this. This was totally unexpected. 1 second, you're watching Fast and Furious, and then you turn on the news and he's dead. So, literally, I woke up and that's the first thing I heard.
Brian O'Connor was always my favorite character in these films. He was confident without being annoying. He lost races, he lost people, but he always fought to win in the end. He wanted respect. And not only did he find that respect in his movies, his actor found it in real life. I never knew Paul, but I know what he did for car culture and for the less fortunate is unfathomable. In a franchise dominated by superhuman bald spies, this blonde everyday man was my favorite hero of them all. And I'm gonna say it right now. Furious 7 should have been the last film to retire not just his character, but the franchise as a whole. Speaking of Furious 7, it's really overshadowed by its ending, but let's focus on the rest of the movie for right now. The Fast timeline was never consistent, but this film adds a 5-year gap so we can see Brian's baby as a kid. But not only does Brian end up ditching this kid to find this God's Eye device before Deckard Shaw does, the rest of the characters have no clue how much time has passed between 6 and 7. Owen Shaw is fresh in the hospital, Letty apparently still can't remember shit after 5 years, and yet Han looks like he's been settled in Tokyo for at least that time when he's killed by Deckard. Remember what I said last week about them pulling a lot of shit out of their ass at this point? On the subject of Deckard, this franchise really loves to introduce star power only to toss them aside for a new star like a kid with his Fast and Furious cars. Statham should have been the main villain as he's the important one that Dom has to defeat to avenge Han. But instead, he's merely chasing after Dom as the crew go after a franchise first, a MacGuffin. The God's Eye device belongs to this militia warlord that Dom needs to steal to track down Deckard, according to Kurt Russell, who feels so out of place with not a lot to do in these films as Mr. Nobody. So the team are mainly fighting this head militia guy. See what I meant about how complicated yet meaningless the plots have become? Wow, I've just realized I've been ripping on this movie and I really enjoyed it back in 2015. Maybe it was just the ending. It's kinda like the first few minutes of Up, except it's the last few minutes of Furious 7. It ended in such a way that everyone thought this was it. And that was perfect. But alas, it was not the last ride. And we'll get to Fate in a minute. Furious 7, though, had some cool cars, cool sequences, and some nice callbacks to the previous films. I really enjoyed James Wan's directing, especially in the nighttime shots, which is funny because usually movies look piss poor at night. It's a solid movie with an even more solid ending. An ending that was made as meaningless as its successor. If Fast 5 is subjectively the worst, Fate is objectively the worst. The only thing Fate has is a really cool pun name like Too Fast. The writers must have wanted to do the same thing with Fine, but got caught and had to add the Fast Saga onto the title as punishment. But we'll talk about Fine in a minute. I watched Fate again, stoned, to see if it had any value while I was intoxicated. Here are my findings. Cuba is a really cool place for these movies. It's probably my favorite location. The opening race proves Dom's worth as a driver with a really shit car, so that's cool. Coca-Cola is really trying to branch out into the turbocharger market. Too bad it blew up in their face. Marvel made Vin Groot instead of Ghost Rider for some reason. There's an actual street race in this, and it's a really good part. There's a callback to Respect from the first film, and it should have been used as Dom's arc in this film. Fate is used as a theme to put together two of Dom's catchphrases, quarter mile at a time and family, to see which of the catchphrases prevails. The Rock is very entertaining while stoned. They do a MacGuffin thing like Raiders of the Lost Ark with a fake MacGuffin, and unlike Raiders, they still use it with the main MacGuffin. Dom has done the honorable thing and switched from Android to iOS since Furious 7. Thank God. Tej and Roman are also very enjoyable while stoned. I love how I assumed Dom would be brainwashed in the trailer because it was a stupid idea. Either that or he had amnesia too. Cypher has a very quiet plane.
God damn you, Cypher!
Speakerbox is a bomb-ass song. They were really trying to make Little Nobody into the new Brian. They almost forgot they had a device that could actually track anyone on the planet. Somehow. The timeline for Elena to have Dom's baby as an infant 5 years after Fast 6 further proves the stupidity of that time jump. They're literally chilling with the guy who they think killed Han. Charlize Theron is channeling her inner Angelina Jolie from Gone in 60 Seconds without any of the charm, and she's just whispering all of her lines. Zombie cars are just Calgary drivers on Deerfoot. Every fast car from here on is a spy car. Maybe one of you fuckers should let go of the gas. Also, during the climax, I find it funny that they use cars to protect Dom from fire when a car couldn't protect Paul Walker from the same thing. And after that, I was too bored to keep watching, which is something I really wasn't expecting. I don't know how to describe my feelings. The film does a lot of stupid shit that should be entertaining, like the aforementioned zombie cars and the comic relief, but none of it lingers. I think of it like a balding man holding on to scraps of hair. There's still some bits of old movies, but it hasn't went full out and shaving off that dignity and going full meme. It reminds me of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and how it went B-movie but not full out Sharknado. It was just kind of baffling with its choices. But even from a sober mindset, I still go into this thinking it's a traditional Fast and Furious movie. Fate of the Furious isn't a Fast and Furious movie, and it's not a superhero movie either. It doesn't know what it wants to be. It's annoying at its best and confusing at its worst. Most of all though, I was in denial that my childhood movie series was becoming this. It was honestly a good thing Fine was delayed because I needed some time to recalibrate my mind to the film's true identity. For a while, I wasn't gonna see Fine. The trailers had me smacking my head for getting invested in something so stupid. I remember my mom offering tickets to see it and I grudgingly accepted it as it was something to do that day. On the way to the theater, I stopped my racing mind for a minute. I told myself that I needed a new mindset for these films. They weren't racing films or spy movies anymore. Fast and Furious is now a superhero franchise. And going into that theater with that mindset really helped me enjoy Fast and Furious 9. I think the big thing with Fine is that it treats itself a lot less seriously. Rome basically breaks the fourth wall multiple times, questioning why they're still alive after he shoots up a whole room of armed militia. Dom literally one-ups Roman with brute force by taking out dozens of John Cena's men by himself. This film is also a great third-grade science project about magnets because they use them as much as they can. Magnetic planes, magnetic cars, magnetic people. I was honestly expecting Sir Ian McKellen to show up. This crew of criminals are superheroes. They chase each other across landmines, swing cars from canyons. They literally crash into a satellite in space with a rocket-powered Pontiac Fiero. One phrase I never thought I'd say in my life. They've gone full meme, and I love it for that. And I'm forgetting so much, it's like trying to remember what happens in Endgame. Han's back, Mia's back, Brian's back, to an extent. And a key part of the plot is the story that Dom told in the first film about his dad's crash, which was interesting to see. Are there complaints? Of course. besides the absurdity of some of the sequences. Han's death is linked to the MacGuffin in this film very clumsily, and there's another multi-year gap where Cypher decided to just stop hunting Dom for some reason.
God damn you, Cypher!
But seeing how balls to the wall they go, and all the nice callbacks they make, like saving someone from a truck with an orange Supra, makes it all worth it. I walked out of that theater laughing. Not at the film, like I did with parts of Fate, but with the film. And that's definitely how I'm gonna go into Fast and Furious 10. On that wonderful note, it's time to end. Thank you very much for watching this mini-series. Good night.
God damn you, Cypher!